Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to TPW Takedown, Episode 9. We are almost to our 10th episode. We're going to talk that a little bit, what the plan is for that, and what our discussion is going to be about. Tonight we are going to go over the Battle Lines pay-per-view that went down, the All-Ladies pay-per-view, and we're going to talk about the upcoming Brand Wars pay-per-view for MTM.
Hello.
Hello.
Lots of matches to talk about. It was a great show last night.
Before we do get into that, I want to say congratulations to, this is out of character, congratulations on your job, and will that be affecting how we do this? Because if so, I do have a solution for that.
I doubt it, because typically I might be getting off anywhere between 3 and 5 most days if she keeps me on first shift. That just means we're going to be moving the shows a little bit around and where we can see the lives and do the shows.
Well, I was almost going to suggest if there was times that you couldn't make it, I was going to suggest maybe Mary could just join on as my co-host on times you're not there.
I'm sure she wouldn't mind, but that's something you'll have to talk to her later. She's in Game of X right now, and I'm not gonna interrupt her. She's having fun.
That's understandable. But now moving forward, we are gonna go over the 14-match show that happened. What was your thoughts on the all-ladies pay-per-view?
Fan-freaking-tastic. There was a lot of things that went on that was perhaps expected, some unexpected. Either way, it was just a wonderful show, and I dare say the best pay-per-view to date.
No, load it up again.
Yeah, we had four title changes.
Well, I would have said that, but I was afraid you'd get on me and say, we're going to talk about that later, no spoilers.
Gotta wait for him to step in it, though.
I mean, it ain't really a spoiler if I'm telling them who won and who didn't, right?
Right.
That's the difference. I don't spoil that.
Come on, Ghost. Step in it.
And I don't
The
tell
last
them
time
who
I mentioned-
returns before we actually get into it. Remember that?
Look around the tent.
Yeah.
Ah, well, it's part of it.
Sometimes those-
So-
But anyways, it was to kick us off. We had Jada and Miranda versus Mayday, May, and Day. Perfect name. Mayday walked out victorious, and this was a great way to kick off the show. And I feel like this set the tone for what should have come and what was to come, and everybody else had to try to top it. Your go.
Hey, where is this guy?
What a wonderful match that was, with Mayday coming out on top in a very hard-fought battle. This was definitely back and forth and caught attention right off the bat. These two teams, I would not mind seeing go at it again.
Welcome, KD. Yes, you are at the park chilling. Hope you're having fun, and happy birthday to Miraculous Michaela, for real.
Where did you hide my bone bags? I can't find it.
And hope you're enjoying your time at the park. It was a great way to kick off, and the other matches to follow definitely helped set the standard for the rest of the night.
Of course, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Foot bone.
Do you want to say anything more?
No, I'm good.
Now, for the tag team championships, we had a match on the recent Vixens Flames where Victoria Williams and Janice Tomahawk won the contendership, earning their shot against the tag team champions Doom, Rick Graves, and Angelina West. And this was a Hell in a Cell match. And it was absolute war from start to finish. It was a great Hell in a Cell. Victoria Williams and Janice Tomahawk walked out the new champions, and a new era has begun. Welcome, Susie. Welcome, ma'am. you were also a part of this show, which we shall get to later. But this tag match in Hell in a Cell, we have new champions and a new era has started. What about you, Kerry?
This match could have went either way. Both teams were on straight up warpath rolls, and it was literally one of those matches where you could describe it as the irresistible force meets the immovable object. And in the end, yeah, Janice and Victoria, who has been just carving through the tag team division, walked out as the new tag champions. And it was not without price pay. There was bloodshed on both teams in that match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, there was. And it looked like Doom was kind of, this was supposed to be almost like, hey, man, like they lost two to Scylla and Wolfie in Hell in a Cell, which was ironic. So they've lost two back-to-back Hell in a Cells, but it was not easy to take them down. They had a fantastic reign.
Well, anytime you enter the Hell in a Cell, you leave a part of yourself and your career behind in that cell. So maybe that kind of played into it where they lost so badly to Scylla and Wolfie prior.
Janice and Victoria are now starting a new era, and I can't wait to see what they do and who will step up to them in the future.
I agree. It's going to be a wild ride, as always.
Most indeed, most indeed. And after that, we had a standard one-on-one, this was a pretty great one-on-one. Ruby Rose West took on Firefly in a great contest. And I would not mind seeing these two ladies fight again in the future. And Firefly walked out victorious. What do you got to say?
I would say this was a surprisingly good match. It lasted a pretty good bit. And with Firefly coming out, she, the winner, she might be someone everybody needs to look out for.
Yeah. You almost think that this was a proving ground match in a sense for both ladies. Yes, they proved themselves, but do you think it's kind of like a way for them to show out?
I do. I believe both of these ladies needed this match as a way to show exactly what they got. And while in the end, Ruby was backstage literally ranting and saying it was bullshit that she lost, that's sometimes how it goes.
Win some, you lose some.
Mm-hmm. In this case, Firefly got the better of you.
You have to aggro him a little bit there, Vic.
Indeed. And after that, we had a KO championship match between Domina and the champion Susie in a KO match, and Susie retained, and it's been a year. As she stated in her promo, it's been a year. Nobody has been able to take that title away from her, and her reign continues. Congrats to both ladies, but Susie continuing her long reign as champion. Carrie, take it away.
What a battle that was. There were times I thought Domina had her, but Susie coming out and proving exactly why she is, in my opinion, the number one in the company, showing exactly what she's made of. Good effort on your part, Domina, but man, Susie, as I've said before in different podcasts and episodes, she's in a league of her own. If you face Susie, you better go in with everything you got.
Or at least if he is, we ain't
You know, she rarely loses, and some of them that has beaten Susie, and you can hear for yourself the greats of it. Kaida's beat her. Wolfie may have had one or two victories in against Susie. Vextra has beaten Susie. So just those three names alone, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I got that.
And all three of them, it was a hard fight.
And Vile is here. Welcome, AJ, the music producer at Tpew. And KD stated this: GG to Susie. She deserves it. She shows why she is a legend, especially when it comes to the KO women's division. Well said.
Agreed. Very much agreed. Welcome in, everybody. I've not been saying hi to. I've just kind of been here talking about the show and whatnot. It's been a busy day, actually.
It responds to people who are alone.
All about them busy days and personal life. I'm going to talk out of character here for a minute. Personal life comes first. This is a game.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to be having fun. Don't focus on anything else. You focus on real life first. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, and today was a day where I had to do that,
I
and
need to get a video of
it paid off. New job. I've got exercise routine and everything to go in to start bettering myself. So.
Before we do go on, you want to tell us through this DDP yoga and new remedies you're eating through?
Not live, because there are certain people that may pop in and watch that don't know certain things about me right now that I don't want to know.
Understood. Moving forward with the show, though, HB Honeybee took on Case Des Moines. And this was another interesting battle and concept here. Both ladies looking to throw their name in the hat for a potential, maybe possible title run in the future. And both ladies looking to prove themselves in their own ways. And Case walked out victorious, and Case was not an easy, Case is nobody to be fucked with, Carrie?
No, I agree. And if memory serves, Case almost dominated that match for the most part. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong. Case has literally been on a new strive.
I mean, she, for lack of a better term, she treated Honeybee like a rag doll in that match. So there's not much else to say about that one.
And those are rare occasions, too, when we see somebody be ragdolled.
Mm-hmm.
And right after that, that led us to our Hardcore Championship batter-out three-way elimination between Riley, Alicia, and the champion Rachel Sawyer. And it came down, Riley was first gone, and it came down to Alicia and Rachel retained with ease, showing why she is the Hardcore Champion and that she's ready for anybody. What do you got to say?
This was a bit of a surprise, especially Riley being eliminated first so early in the match. I'm unbiased here. I honestly thought Riley was going to walk away with that one. But Rachel was able to put everything aside that was going on in her life outside of Tpew. And
Carrie, do you mind restarting what you said, please? You cut out. I just wanted to tell you that. So you mind restarting?
Is this better?
My bad.
Is this better?
Yeah. Do you mind restarting what you said from the top?
Yeah. So this was a surprise to me. As unbiased as I can, I expected Riley to walk away with it, but she was eliminated early in the contest. So it seemed like Rachel was able to put her personal life outside of Tpew out of her mind to get the job done that night. Yeah.
And Rachel's nobody to be taken lightly either, or Alicia, because remember, even in tag action, like Alicia and Alexia were dominating the tag scene for quite a bit, and when they go off on their own, it just shows you whether they're a tag team or singles, they will dominate. And Rachel, she can put her personal feelings aside to actually get the job done.
Absolutely, and we saw that last night, and I'm not taking anything away from Alicia. I really thought Riley was going to walk away with it last night.
As they say, better luck next time, and I can't wait to see where all three ladies go from here. Every single lady is going to go somewhere big, no matter win or lose.
Absolutely.
And I know that this one's going to be an emotional one to talk about, as we've always talked about on the pod here. Falls Count Anywhere, Olive Puff versus Danny Crucial versus Sheba West in a triple threat match, and Olive Puff picking up a big, big win. Congrats to that lady. Carrie, do you want to say anything?
It was a beautiful match and a beautiful win, and we learned through the Tpew staff that Olive's one of her friends in life, it was her birthday yesterday, and the fact that Chin himself said he missed her and whatnot, she showed that she misses them and won for them. I guarantee you That's what happened. It was a beautiful, beautiful match, and I couldn't think of a better outcome for that.
Yes, indeed. Congrats to all three ladies and Olive Pup. This would have to be, I believe, her first victory, right?
No, it wasn't her first, but it was a first big one, especially at a pay-per-view.
Understood. Because I know she's had matches, but I don't know if this was like her first win in general.
Yes, this was her first pay-per-view win, to my knowledge, and a big match win at that.
Oh, yeah. Danny Crucial and Sheba, damn, two big names that have made their name here. And I can't wait to see where Olive Puff goes from here. I will not be surprised if we be seeing her in somewhere in a big spot in the future.
I agree.
Throw an object in the truck.
And after that, we had another batter out three-way elimination for the U.S. Championship. It was Cora Star versus Chaotica versus the champion MM, and it was a hard-fought match. All three ladies deserved this moment and shine, and MM retaining the gold in a victorious ruthless fashion, and it was not easy.
No, not by a long shot, and Miracle Michaela showing exactly what her namesake was. It was almost a miracle that she won that match last night, and I say that in the most utmost respect because both Chaotica and Cora have been on a tear lately, and both those ladies had something to prove. So Michaela she was victorious. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say by the skin of her teeth. So Miracle Michaela fits.
And I think this is a shout out to you guys. Appreciate TPW has a active memorial call as an Olive Pup.
Well, we appreciate you letting us do it. We would have never done this without y'all's permission and blessing. That's one thing we don't do in this company is we don't bring up, people who have passed away and whatnot unless the members are okay with it.
Well said. Well said. Thank you to all the pups. Thank you for this matchup for MM, and the girl has a long way to go as she continues her U.S. title reign.
Yep. Can you hear me?
And next up was a tables between Betty Collins and Medea, and this one was a very interesting affair. And Betty Collins walked out victorious, and Medea put up a fight. But Betty Collins definitely is looking for something here. Like, she wants to do more than what she's doing, but she's definitely going to make it big here. You want to speak on this?
I agree. It was a well-fought battle, and Betty did have something to prove. Medea just hasn't quite been herself since her run-in with Susie. So we can just kind of keep an eye on that and see what happens. She's had a bit more attitude as of late, as if that was even possible.
Yeah. And Chaotica, speaking on her match, it would be a lie to say I felt a little sad being eliminated. I want so bad to bring something to my family, but I feel one day soon I'll show my quality to my family and I'll never stop fighting for it.
Well, there's gonna be your time. It just wasn't last night. You've got a lot of heart and passion for it, so keep going. And make sure you tell your brother not to get so upset about losses and stuff, and that he's probably not disfigured as bad as he says.
Oh, heard it from Kerry himself. I agree with that statement. File's a fighter. Even if he was disfigured, he always come back.
And there's no need to feel bad or upset about losses or anything like that. It's part of it. The hunt oftentimes is far more interesting and fun than sitting on top waiting.
Exactly. And after that tables matchup, we had a tables, ladders, and chairs affair for the World Championship, and it was between Kaiva Kaida and the champion Alicia. And we have a new champion in Kaiva, and a new era has begun in this matchup as well, with a new champion arising. And Kaiva's worked her way up the rankings. And any one of these three ladies could have walked away with it. But Kaiva's definitely been on the new wear and tear. Harry?
What an absolute banger of a match. Match of the night, match of the year candidate. Absolutely phenomenal. And then the after tension. If you saw backstage, Kaida, she had words for Kaiva that was besides congratulations. She told Kaiva that the battle has just begun, so Kaida is not through. Not by a long shot. All three women put on a hell of a match. That match could have went either way. There was lots and lots of impact, high what do we call them, high spots, where just absolute amazing athleticism was shown and resilience. That's my pick for match of the year so far. We're just getting started, so that could change easily, but that's definitely a candidate in my opinion.
Most indeed agreed. The ladies definitely show up and show out every single time they compete. And that first matchup of the night, the tag match, definitely a lot of matches were trying to outdo that. And we could definitely say that as the night went on, matches were outdoing each other.
It'd be hard to say that match was outdone. I'm inclined to respectfully disagree with you on that one, Brandon. But we'll get into that later.
Larry, jeez.
Larry, I am so sorry. I'll get it eventually.
Chaotica, my brother was always labeled a monster growing up. However, he is using what happened to him to show what happens when anger gets out of control. That's what I think he's doing anyway. Vile has been keeping his distance from me, so I really don't know.
Well, either way, he shouldn't have let his anger at a loss get to him. I mean, it's part of it. It's part of it.
Indeed. And after that triple threat for the world title, we had Tessa Winters versus Miss K. Miss K and HB, usually known for teaming up at times, getting their feel in the singles. Not saying that they haven't been in singles before, but they definitely are getting their feel of singles tonight. And Tessa Winters definitely is like a wild card dark horse to me. And I feel like when she does appear, you don't know what you're going to expect or see. And she walked out victorious, but Miss K put up a fight. You want to speak on this?
Yeah, it was definitely a back and forth brawl. Miss K showing exactly what she's all about as one of the ladies who has more experience in the ring. Tonight was the night for the young blood, Tessa coming in. And I think maybe slightly Miss K and Honeybee have been relying on each other, as tag teams for so long now. They were kind of nervous about being in a singles match is kind of what I think was going on there.
That's understandable. I mean, it's always good to see tag teams happen, but then again, it's also can't always rely on that one thing because eventually that one thing's going to get broken.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
It does.
Anything else you would like to state on this?
I'm good on that one.
Now, next up, we had the Triple Crown Championship, 2 out of 3, Hell in a Cell. And may I mind you, Vextra is the face champion of MTM. So this was technically a champion versus champion affair. And Anomaly walking in as the Triple Crown champion. But at the end of it, it was Vextra walking out with not just one, but 2 championships, proving why she is the face that runs the place. Your go, Karen.
Exactly. She is the GOAT of the company right now. And I think Anomaly found a very painful lesson in that because this match, Vextra, she straight up dominated Anomaly, which lends maybe a little credibility to what Vextra had said prior to this match in that Anomaly maybe got that title as a fluke before. I don't know. I do know that there's still some animosity. I heard a lot of rumblings backstage that there was a lot of heat between those two, and not the good kind of heat. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on this situation to see how it develops.
A lot of confrontations are happening on at Vixen's Flames, whether it's a pay-per-view or just Vixen's Flames. You could tell there's a lot of confrontation between certain ladies.
Absolutely. And Vextra and Anomaly, this is not over yet. I can honestly tell you that one. This is not over by a long shot.
Oh, most definitely. We would definitely love to see another match of them down the line. And they just set up for our co-main event between Evelyn Winters versus Viper. And in this matchup, Evelyn Winters walked out victorious. And this was a very interesting affair. And I heard some people were shocked. So to some people I talked to were shocked about this affair. But never count out anybody. And TPW, no matter who they are, never count out anybody. You want to speak on this?
This one, like many of our matches, was a great back and forth. Mm-hmm. But again, youth overcoming age in this match. Now I'm not saying that Viper should hang up her boots or anything like that in any regard. She's still got a lot of fight in her, but Evelyn Winters just had that extra little bit of youth on her side and was able to overcome that serpent with her cold bite.
It looks like that Viper's Venom definitely was not in action tonight.
Viper's also returning from some severe injuries.
That's true. Boss Lady reminded me that Viper's returning back from severe injury, so that could have definitely played into it.
Maybe Viper lost that fire. Not saying that she fully lost it, but maybe she needs to regain that fire she once had. So.
I'm not sure, but I have heard that there was a stare down between her and Scylla backstage. Nothing happened, and Scylla again has said that she's done with Viper unless Viper, does unto her. Like I said in the previous episode, Scylla has said that she's tired of everybody playing poor, pitiful Viper and her being the bad guy in this whole thing. So we'll see where that goes.
And we hear people say when they say they're done with a certain individual, but eventually down the line, they will meet again.
Absolutely, but in this regard, Scylla is, when she's done, she's done. She's moving on to other things and whatnot. She ended up disgusted with the whole situation, not just because she did it, but how it came about to begin with. So. And how everybody received and the reception of it. So she's done. She's moving on.
Indeed. Well, I guess we'll see where those develop as time goes on. And good job to Evelyn Winters and Viper. Can't wait to see what they both do next. And that just led us on to our main event for the Grand Prix Championship. 2 out of 3 death match. And it was between Danny West and Scylla, the champion. And Scylla held on to that for quite a bit now. And then Danny basically took it from her. But Scylla, I would have to say, did not go down without a fight. I'm going to say Scylla. And it was very interesting. And that's what I got to say on that. Gary?
Scylla definitely put up a fight last night. But again, youth over experience in this one instance. Danny came out on top. This was more of a full circle moment. I think Scylla did not like how her match with Danny's mother, Alex, went. Both times, even though Alex got the better of her the second time, she just, for some reason, she felt Alex's fire wasn't quite there.
Where are you?
And the news of Alex and Wolfina retiring, I think that played a bit into this. And I think it was only right that Danny got the belt off of Scylla to start the new generation and the new bloods here. And backstage, Scylla even congratulated her and reminded her that she comes from a lineage of warriors, and even offered Wolfina and Alex that if there was anything she could do, all they had to do was ask. So it seems like Scylla is showing respect for the people and their children who made this business what it is to begin with. I think that was a very classy way of Scylla to handle a loss in this regards. That's probably a big weight off of Scylla's shoulder, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Scylla won that title at the last Vixen's pay-per-view, or maybe even the one before that, but she has held on to it for a while.
I think it could have been I almost thought it was at Carnival, but I could be mistaken.
And that was a while back. That was, what, 3 or 4 months ago? 3 months, and something like that?
Yeah, because we were, there's a lot of joint pay-per-views before we did single pay-per-views of both just men, just women, and what we'll talk about later regarding MTM, but I don't recall. Yeah.
So she's defended that title for a while, and even the greatest of champions feel the weight of responsibility on those titles.
Most definitely.
But overall, this was a fantastic pay-per-view, and I believe the final ratings average was a 4.7 out of 5 for this pay-per-view. So that was an amazing pay-per-view. No shame in that pay-per-view at all.
Ladies did absolutely fantastic, as they do. This company is built on the foundation of ladies, and I know that we had a send-off show on Vixen's Flames for Alex and Wolfina, but I feel like this could have been. I feel like this was a good send-off show for them. Like, in a sense, like I feel like they were watching, and I feel like they would have been proud.
Absolutely. They even told their children they were proud last night. The ones, whether they won or lost, they were super proud. It was a big celebration last night backstage. So it was a beautiful moment. It was full circle moment, and I live for things like that. You know, full circle things are wonderful.
Definitely a wonderful pay-per-view, says Katie, exactly. And that was our pay-per-view for the ladies. Congrats to all the ladies. And now we are on the road to a show that was made by Katie, the general manager of MTM, where we will have the Wolves Den take on the Vixen Flames, men versus women, in different style of matches, different. It's just going to be absolute craziness, and I can't wait to see where this card goes. And KD announced the name is called Shattered Expectations. What do you think about this name, Carrie? Like, when you first think about Shattered Expectations and it being a brand.
I love that because I love that Tpew is always shattering expectations. And to have a intergender pay-per-view like this, I've not heard of it in any kind of fed of this type. And I can honestly say Kaida was she was the first one that said she volunteers for this. She literally took a Hunger Games quote and said, "I volunteer as tribute." So she's amped up about it. I hope everybody else is amped up about it. I'm amped up about it. I want to see this.
I will be revealing the logo that I came up with for the show, and I sent it over to Josh so he can add in the Wolf Den and Vixen Flame signs on there. But I gave out 4 different designs to Katie and Mary, and they liked all 4, but then they decided on one, and it's going to be a great poster.
I believe it. TPU is always putting together amazing things, and I'm going to go out of character and let everybody know that I haven't been in the EFED world very long, but the ones that I've been in, this is by far the best, and I don't say that because the woman who runs everything is my wife or anything. I say that because it's absolutely true. There's no other company I think I would ever want to go for.
Yep, should be interesting, says Katie, and I think PPW, the first EFED that is doing this type of pay-per-view that I know of, Chaotica, men versus women, huh? I like it. And I have a good idea of who exactly to challenge. Interesting.
Go after
Interesting.
your
I'm
brother,
really
knock
kind
some
of curious.
sense into him.
Brother against sister. We very well could see that. We very well could see couple against couple. We very well could see brother against sister. We very well could see father against daughter. We could see, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo,
yeah,
could you
cousin
imagine a
against
Vexter
cousin.
versus Rig match?
Run back!
You dirty dog.
Oh my god! Yay! I did it! Let's go!
Oh, that's awesome. That was really the takedown today, guys. Something to look forward to, and we just went over a hell of a pay-per-view. And also, I do want to make clear, out of character, so everybody knows the birthday for The Undertaker is on March 24th, not the day that we will be streaming The Wolf's Den, but we will go live Tuesday for his birthday and discuss his legendary career.
That was just craziness.
Would that also be our 10th episode like we discussed as well?
Yeah. So basically, it will be the 10th episode. So we're not going to do an episode on Monday when the Wolf's Den usually airs, right? We're going to do it the next day on his actual birthday.
Got you. That would be amazing to do. Great idea.
For people that don't know, Mary, my sister over there that I love dearly, he loves The Undertaker. And I think, Carrie, you know this as well.
Oh, bro. So close.
Absolutely, as do I. He's been my favorite ever since he came in. A lot of people don't realize that when I first started watching wrestling, I was about 3, all right? So Jake Roberts was all around and everything. He was my first favorite wrestler, but then came The Undertaker, and he's been my favorite ever since.
And I can't wait to hear us talk about his legendary career, even before he was Undertaker, before he was in WWF, when he was in the territories, his little stint in WCW, his stints in other places, and his other names. And I can't wait to go through his legendary career.
I would die.
Absolutely. It's going to be a wonderful show. Everybody, make sure you get your KD Colas and your snacks, because that's going to be a long one.
And also, we are going to be doing every 10 episodes something special. So basically, episode 10 will be about The Undertaker. We'll put in another vote for before episode 20. Chaotica said, Vile, oh no, I have something else in mind. But if anyone needs to kick some sense into my brother, it's the women that woke him up the last time they fought. Oh.
So it's sacrificial.
She means Kaida.
Uh-huh. Now that's going to be an interesting affair. But I'm curious to see who Chaotica is looking to challenge, though. That's what I'm also curious about.
It's going to be something to think about. So
I think it should be this week, if anything, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, it should be sometime this week. Babe, is that MTM pay-per-view this week? Or
Yeah.
She says yes.
All right.
So this weekend.
Stay tuned for an epic week, y'all. Carrie, final thought before we get off? Or
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Well, go get yourself some food. I'm about to go have some food as well. And we hope everybody have a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. Peace out.
Later.